Welcome to the NXT Podcast, your home for weekly NXT reviews and insight.
The beautiful part of NXT is that when one dream ends, another dream begins.
Find all of your NXT news, recaps, and analysis right here. So with that being said, we only have one question for you.
Are you ready?
We thought so. Let's get the show started right now.
European, just very, just rapping match in the future. Let's see.
Well, surprisingly, it's not the Creed brothers in the training room this time, but it is Jensen in there. And you know, Ivy's in there, and she's, I'm sorry, Fallon is in there. I have to get my big sisters straightened out here. But Miss Henry is she's worried about Kiana with Miss James, and she lets her know, or lets Mr. Jensen know, that she's not going to be around. Hey, when she breaks his heart. Dun 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 dun. One NXT day at a time. They got Valentina Frost and Thea in a match. Thea Hale. So you got Chase U out here against Miss Valentina, and it could be a good match. Valentina is looking a lot better on her mat work. Her interview skills. The little lost rabbit without Sangha. Anyway, but you got Miss Hale in there, and little Thea, man, she screams a lot. Yeah. She screams a lot. But, man, she's got a kick up in here. She's looking better. Valentina is making her look good. And then all of a sudden, Elektra Lopez comes out. So, so we got a kick up in by Thea. And, and then she throws a moonsault out there after that. And then all of a sudden, Elektra slips her some brass knuckles. No, I didn't say brass monkey, the funky monkey. I said brass knuckles. And she says no. She says no. She does not need that to win. So Thea says, you know what? I'll just whoop that butt and take it then. And she catches her, boom, and it's Miss Hale. Thea's first win. So, yeah, boy. So congratulations there. And from there, you've got Mello and Trick trying to leave, and they run into Apollo. And you know what? I don't know if somebody in the old days could have got out there and talked like Apollo did and bragged about winning and not gotten jumped. But he didn't. And matter of fact, not only did he not get jumped, but he asked him if he knew where a barber was because he needed a fresh cut. Now, when a bald man asks you where a barber is, you might want to check yourself before you wreck yourself. And wait a minute, they coming on here now, and they've got is this a work? I'll tell you what, guys, before I say anything, let me check this real quick, because this is not good. All right, I've confirmed everything. It's with a heavy heart I bring that Jay Briscoe of the Briscoe Brothers has passed in a car wreck sometime around 5:30 or so today. He was involved in a accident in Laurel, Delaware, in his where he grew up around his hometown there. He was 38 years old. Condolences to Mark, his brother, and to the Briscoe, to the family. I won't go into. I don't drop names. I don't do a lot of that. So you're going to read the articles. You're going to read everything yourself. So you'll know his real name. But this is sad. And man, look, it goes back to when I was growing up. I can't think of it. There was a tag team, a mass tag team. I think it was the Interns, one of them, and Sam Bass was the first wrestler that because back in those days they traveled so much on the road. Sam Bass was Jerry Lawler's manager. He was the first one that I'd ever heard of that passed like that. And then, of course, of all the traveling time back in the day. But this doesn't look like this is related. This may have been just he got off the road and was home and just had an accident. So I don't know. We won't speculate on that. But it's sad to see a fellow wrestling fan and wrestler pass. And so, as I said, my condolences. And and you know what? And now that I think about it, it's a little odd for the WWE to come out on a live show like this, and or on a show like this, and put this out like that, a non-WWE wrestler. So that shows the respect. Say what you want to about their past history. They put on a show with FTR not that long ago that was one of the best dog collar matches that I've ever seen, and I'm an old guy. So when I say they put on one, they put on one. Definitely one of the bloodiest, that's for sure. But after that, man, I can imagine. Wow. Okay, so after that, Elektra comes out and tells Miss Valentina that she used to follow around some guys and stuff like that, and took their advice, and now she's on her own. So she better watch her match later and see for herself. And then you got New Day and Pretty Deadly and Gallus, and it all ends up being a big fight. Pretty Deadly jumps on them, and then they all jump on Pretty Deadly, and there's a lot of it's just a little hard to go through the rest of this with such a sad note. I'll just finish this out, and everybody can. This is going to be the biggest story that we're going to have around here for a while. So and I hate it for that reason. But give me just a second, and I will we'll finish this up. All right, so I actually do my show along with the show, so I can try to get some better views. It's things I've been trying to change and make things better. But when you have something like this happen, it kind of affects your speaking ability and your train of thought. So excuse me, I'm not a big time professional, and where I can just see something like that and not think about it. But anyway, we will go back to where I kind of got my thought train took a left turn. Was when New Day came out, when they were saying that they were pretty much done with Pretty Deadly. And they, Pretty Deadly's going to come out and going no, and then Gallus comes out and they approach New Day, and while New Day and Gallus are staring each other down, Pretty Deadly jumps them, and then they all beat up Pretty Deadly, and they throw them out. And then after that, you got a little spot with Roxanne and Valkyria, and they're just. Big Body Javi gets up in there. It's just a very kind of odd little spot. Big Body. All right. I don't know if they're trying to make him into a honky-tonk man, Jeff Jarrett, or I don't know what they're trying to do there. But anyway, they go into the other side of the interview from the Waller and Braun match last week, and they have Braun. And the guy comes out, and he pretty much asks Braun, hey, you got hit with that knee, and it looked like you were in deep doo-doo. And Braun says, hey, he got injured, he got a little hurt there, but he would have taken him. And, what is he supposed to say? So he comes, pretty good little spot, too. So I give Waller the edge on the dueling interviews on this one here, but and they have Big Body Javi gonna play his Elias guitar, and right when he starts with his version of whatever it was, a Christmas song even, I believe, Tyler Bate shows up for their match. And Tyler Bate, of course, is making his comeback, and he wants to look good, and Javi can sell. So that's exactly what happens. Mr. Bate comes out with that classic European style Nina looks great during the match. Javi has a couple quick moments. Everything looks like it's a great ending. And then right at the end, there's a screw up on the finish. Now they continue on, and there's no hiccup in the match with a screw up. And if you go back and watch Tyler miss his finishing move, whatever it may have been, a hobby move or the sweat or just whatever, he missed it, and then he goes back and finishes it off and then gets his camera shot afterwards. But everything is good on this match. That shows the professionalism when there is a missed move. From there we go with Briggs and Jensen, and Fallon's apologizing and said she's going to have a tag team match next week, and she's chosen Miss James as her partner. So there you go from there, So, all right, so now we're lining up for the final match, Valkyria and Roxanne, the champ versus Toxic Attraction. And this is the best way I can describe this match. Well, it seems this night has been about miscues and the little things. And in this match, Valkyria and Roxanne, it's a great match. They're going back and forth. And then, what is it? Valkyria gets up on the top rope to do a move off of it. And who comes in but the resident bad girl? Cora Jade comes flying in and knocks her off. And so it looks like Toxic's going to take over the match and just go in, and then all of a sudden, Valkyria is able to get a tag on Roxanne, and the miniature princess comes flying in there, does some great moves, and then they get a setup move on her, and there is a missed kick. Jane misses a kick. Boom, upside the head. Allows for the Pop Rocks, I believe it's called, and Roxanne gets the pin. Yep. Okay, so that's Miss Princess gets, and Booker T will tell you the whole time about his student that she got the win. So that is how the show is going to end. And as I said, it's an odd thing that the WWE it says anything like that about the Briscoe fatality in the car wreck on live TV like that. So it's a tragic thing, and I'm glad to see the WWE not looking at just brands, but looking at the individuals. So definitely come back and find out what's going on the WWE podcast. Ethan Black is doing our AEW now, so I'm sure he'll have something, or we will have updates as they come along. So I hate to end on such a tragic note, but unfortunately that's life. Guys, this is Memphis Mark. And rescue if you can. Spay and neuter always. And you know what? This is Memphis Mark, and as a salute to the Briscoe family and all the wrestling fans out there, you know what? I'm out.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.